Welcome to another deep dive, everyone. Today we're going to be looking into something pretty fascinating.
Yeah.
It's Google DeepMind's Project Astra.
Yeah, this is really cool stuff.
So we've got an article here from AI Frontiers
Mm.
that goes into some pretty good detail
Yeah,
about
it's pretty amazing what they're doing.
what this project is and what they're
Mm.
trying to accomplish.
Yeah.
And so for anybody who hasn't heard about Project Astra yet,
Yeah.
you know, I think we all use voice assistants these days to some extent,
Mm-hmm.
but Astra is like way beyond that. Like this is like next level stuff.
Yeah.
Like imagine an AI that not only remembers the conversations that you've had with it,
Right.
but it can actually use tools like Google Search and Google Maps and stuff to actually like help you with your day-to-day activities and stuff.
And not just like, in a limited way, like really deeply, like
Yeah.
using those tools in a way that like no other AI has really been able to before.
And the crazy thing is like, this isn't just like some, research paper or something. This is actually being tested in the real world right now. They've got people,
Yeah, trusted testers.
trusted testers, yeah, using it on their phones
Mm-hmm.
and even on prototype glasses.
I mean,
It's just wild to think about.
it's really mind-blowing how far this technology has come.
So yeah, so let's dive into this and figure out what Project Astra is all about.
Yeah, I'm really excited to dig into this.
Yeah, so I mean, first of all, like how does they describe this? Like what is Project Astra?
So they're calling it a universal AI assistant.
Right.
And I think that's really key because they're not just aiming for this to be something you use on one device.
Right.
It's meant to be integrated into your entire digital life
Yeah.
across all your devices seamlessly.
So it's not like a separate app or a separate thing. It's like
Uh-huh.
integrated into the fabric of like
Right. It's
your digital experience or whatever.
a part of your everyday life.
Yeah.
Like an extension of yourself almost.
Okay, so I mean that already sets it apart from like Siri or Alexa or
Sadly.
or Google Assistant or something like that. But what else makes it different? Like what are the key things?
Yeah, so there are a few things that really jump out as groundbreaking. First, it's multimodal, which means you can interact with it in multiple ways. You can talk to it,
Right.
but you can also show it things using your camera.
Oh wow. Okay.
So, like, imagine you're cooking and you need a recipe. You can just show Astra the ingredients in your fridge,
Okay.
and it can suggest recipes based on what you have.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and another big differentiator is the memory.
Okay.
Astra can remember past conversations, and it can even remember up to 10 minutes of your current interaction,
10 minutes.
which is unheard of.
Yeah, most voice assistants, like, I swear they forget what I said like 5 seconds ago.
Exactly.
10 minutes. That's pretty...
It's a game changer because it allows for much more natural and flowing back and forth conversations.
Okay, so what does that actually enable it to do? Like, how does that...
Yeah.
10 minutes of memory, like, how does that actually affect how it functions?
It's all about context and building on previous interactions.
Right.
So, for example, let's say you're planning a trip with Astra. You mentioned that you like historical sites and you have a specific budget.
Uh-huh.
Later on, when you're showing it pictures of potential destinations, it'll remember those preferences.
Okay.
And it can suggest places that you might actually enjoy.
So it's not just like a generic travel agent or something. It's actually like learning about your tastes and
Exactly.
preferences as you go.
It's like having a personal travel agent that knows you really well.
Wow. That's pretty incredible. And then on top of that, it can like actually tap into other Google products like
Mhm.
Search and Maps and even Lens, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's not just limited to its own knowledge base. It can access the vast resources of Google.
So you could be like, hey, Astra, show me the nearest coffee shop that has good Wi-Fi.
Exactly. And it'll pull up maps, show you the nearest options,
Huh.
maybe even overlay reviews or tell you how busy they are.
So it's like putting all these different pieces together and making them work.
It's really impressive.
Yeah, and the article has some pretty cool examples too. Like they talk about this guy, Ash, from San Francisco,
Right.
who uses Astra to translate conversations with his mom in real time,
Yeah, that's amazing.
which is incredible. And then there's this other guy, Josh, in Pasadena, who uses it for marathon training.
Oh, wow.
So it's helping him track his runs, his diet plan, everything.
So it's not just for like fun stuff. It can actually help you achieve your goals.
Yeah, and then there's this guy, Robbie, in UK,
Oh,
who
yeah.
uses it for all sorts of things like discussing houseplants and getting creative inspiration from his daughter's artwork.
That's really sweet.
Yeah, it's really cool. So it's like really versatile.
Mm-hmm.
It can handle all these different tasks and interests and stuff.
It seems like there's no limit to what it can do.
So, okay, so we've got this, amazing AI that can do all these things. But what's the actual user experience like? I mean, they're testing it on phones and prototype glasses.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
how does that actually work?
Yeah, so one of the key goals is to create a seamless transition between devices.
Okay.
So you can imagine starting a task on your phone, like looking up directions,
Uh-huh.
and then as you're walking, you put on the glasses,
Right.
and Astra can visually guide you through your surroundings.
Oh, wow.
It's
Okay.
like blurring the lines between the physical and digital worlds.
That is next level. I mean, that's like straight out of a science fiction movie or something.
I know, it's incredible.
Yeah. So, I mean, with all this stuff going on, it makes you wonder, like, where does this lead?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if this is what they're doing now,
Right.
what does the future hold? Like, what's...
It's a really exciting time to be following AI development
Yeah.
because Project Astra is just a glimpse into what Google DeepMind believes is the agentic era of AI.
Okay, agentic era. Let's unpack that a little. What are they talking about?
Sure. So the way they describe it is that AI systems are becoming truly independent actors.
Okay.
It's not just about responding to commands anymore. It's about AI taking initiative, making decisions, and completing complex tasks on its own.
So, like, Astra could, like, book a flight for you or something without you even having to tell it.
Exactly. Or it could order groceries based on your past purchases and dietary preferences.
Wow. So it's really like having an assistant that's like
Yeah.
anticipating your needs and doing things for you.
And the example they give is Astra using Google search to find you that perfect recipe without you explicitly telling it to.
So it's like it's using those tools in a way that's more human-like almost.
Yeah, it's really pushing the boundaries of what we thought AI could do.
Okay, so I'm starting to get it, but it's a lot to process.
Yeah, it is a lot to wrap your head around.
Interdependent AI,
Yes.
seamless integration, all this stuff. Like, it's exciting and a little mind-blowing at the same time.
It is. It really is. Project Astra is pushing the boundaries of what we thought AI could be.
Yeah.
We're moving beyond isolated tools and into a world where AI is interwoven with our lives,
Yeah.
assisting us in ways we're only just beginning to imagine.
All right, I need a moment to digest all this.
Yeah.
We've covered a lot of ground already, from Astra's capabilities to this whole agentic era thing.
Mm-hmm.
But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let's rewind a bit
Okay.
and zoom back in on some of the specifics. Like, let's really dig into some of these examples and see how this is all playing out in the real world.
Sounds good. You know what really struck me about Project Astra is that it's really pushing past the limitations of traditional voice assistants.
Yeah, I totally see what you mean. Like, it's not just about like setting a timer or,
Right.
asking for the weather or something like that. It's like,
It feels much more integrated into our lives.
yeah, it's like more present or something.
Exactly. Like, think about the examples we talked about earlier, like Ash using Astra for real-time translation with his mom.
Uh-huh.
That's not just a quick question and answer that requires a deep level of understanding and context.
Yeah, it's like a conversation that's actually happening.
Exactly. And or Josh relying on Astra for his marathon training. That's not just a one-time thing that implies like a long-term partnership with Astra, tracking his progress, adjusting his plans,
Yeah, like a coach almost.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, so it's not just about the tasks themselves, but the way Astra actually handles them.
Exactly. It's the difference between a basic calculator and a sophisticated spreadsheet.
Okay.
Astra is operating on a whole other level of complexity.
Right, and then the fact that they're testing this on both phones and prototype glasses
Right.
really hints at their ambition here.
Absolutely.
It's like they're not just trying to make things a little bit smoother, they're trying to reimagine how we interact with technology altogether.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to put it.
Okay, so let's dive into that a little bit. Like, what kind of user experience are they aiming for with these two platforms?
Okay.
Like, what's the vision here?
All right, so picture this. You're walking down the street.
Uh-huh.
You're talking to Astra on your phone about finding a good coffee shop.
Okay.
And then as you approach a busy intersection, you seamlessly switch to the glasses. Right. And now Astra isn't just listing options. It's visually highlighting nearby cafes in your field of view.
Hold on.
Maybe even overlaying reviews or wait times.
That's like augmented reality meets AI assistant.
It is.
I could actually see the recommendations like integrated with my surrounding.
Exactly. And it gets even more interesting.
Hey.
Let's say you choose a cafe. Astra, remembering your previous coffee preferences, could automatically place an order for your usual latte.
Wow.
Maybe even pay for it through a secure connection.
Talk about streamlining your day.
Right. You arrive, you skip the line, and your coffee is ready.
But I mean, that also brings up some interesting questions, right?
Like, absolutely.
Like, that level of integration requires a lot of trust.
Of course.
Like, you're really giving this AI a lot of control over your life.
It's true. And for this kind of system to work, Astra needs to be incredibly reliable, secure, and respectful of user privacy.
Yeah.
Google DeepMind seems to be very aware of these challenges.
Okay.
They really emphasize their commitment to responsible AI development.
That's good to hear.
Mm.
But even with those safeguards in place, I mean, this shift towards a more integrated agentic AI, it raises some pretty big questions about the future. Like, what happens to our own agency
Right.
as AI systems become more capable?
That is a key point. The agentic era isn't just about cool new features. It's a fundamental shift in the human-technology relationship.
Okay.
We're moving from tools that we directly control to systems that can learn, adapt, and act autonomously.
So it's less about giving commands and more about like collaborating with AI,
Exactly.
almost like having a partner in navigating the complexities of daily life.
That's a great way to put it.
And that partnership could be incredibly beneficial, right?
It could be, imagine Astra helping you manage your finances,
Uh-huh.
stay on top of deadlines, even offer personalized health advice based on your lifestyle and data.
It's like it frees up our mental bandwidth to focus on other things.
Exactly. You know, more creative pursuits, deeper relationships, or just enjoying the present moment.
Yeah, but it also requires careful consideration, right? As these AI systems like Astra become more integrated, how do we make sure they stay aligned with our values and goals?
That's the million-dollar question, and one that Google DeepMind seems to be grappling with as well. You know, the development of this technology can't happen in a vacuum.
Right.
It requires open dialogue, ethical guidelines, and a commitment to transparency from both the creators and the users.
So it's like, while the possibilities are incredibly exciting, we also need to approach this new era of AI with a healthy dose of caution and critical thinking.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The future isn't predetermined.
Right.
It's something that we're actively shaping with every choice we make, both as individuals and as a society.
And Project Astra is a powerful reminder of that responsibility.
It is. It's not just a cool tech demo.
Right.
It's a glimpse into a future that we're building right now.
All right. I think we've unpacked a lot about the agentic era
Mm-hmm.
and the potential impact of Project Astra.
We have.
But let's shift gears a little bit and delve back into some of the specific examples from the source material.
Okay, sounds good.
So we've talked a lot about, the potential of Project Astra, both the exciting stuff and the things that make you kind of stop and think.
Right.
But we've mostly focused on individual tasks,
Yeah.
experiences, and things like that. What about the bigger picture? Like, how could a universal AI assistant like this actually like reshape society as a whole?
That's where things get really interesting. You know, imagine a world where Astra or something like it becomes as commonplace as smartphones are today.
Mm-hmm.
It could fundamentally change how we work,
Okay.
how we learn, and even how we interact with each other.
Okay, paint me a picture. What does that world look like?
Let's start with work. You know, a lot of jobs involve repetitive tasks or information gathering.
Right.
Astra could automate a lot of that,
Mm-hmm.
freeing up human time and energy for, more creative strategic thinking.
So we're not necessarily talking about AI like taking our jobs or anything, but it's more like
Right.
shifting the nature of work itself.
Exactly. We become the architects, and Astra helps us bring those ideas to life.
And it's not just about efficiency either, right?
No, not at all.
Right.
I mean, imagine a doctor using Astra to analyze massive data sets of patient information,
Okay.
identifying patterns of potential treatments that humans might miss.
Mhm.
Or an architect using Astra to simulate countless building designs,
Uh-huh.
optimizing for energy efficiency and sustainability.
So it's like it's giving every profession like a superpowered assistant,
Yeah,
amplifying their skills and their knowledge.
that's a great way to put it.
What about education? Like, could Astra change how we learn?
Oh, absolutely. Imagine personalized tutoring systems powered by Astra,
Okay.
adapting to each student's learning style and pace,
Mhm.
providing real-time feedback, answering questions, and even suggesting additional resources tailored to their interests.
So no more like one-size-fits-all classrooms.
Right.
Every student gets like a custom learning path,
Exactly.
guided by an AI that actually understands how they learn best.
And it could really democratize access to quality education regardless of location or socioeconomic background.
Wow. And even beyond formal learning, like could Astra be like a lifelong learning companion?
I think so. Helping us explore new topics, stay up to date with the latest research, or just satisfy our curiosity about the world.
It's a pretty radical shift, though.
It is.
Like if AI is handling so much of this stuff,
Mm-hmm.
do we risk becoming overly reliant on it?
That's a valid concern.
Yeah.
And it goes back to the idea of responsible development.
Uh-huh.
The goal shouldn't be to replace human capabilities,
Right.
but to augment them we need to be mindful of how these systems are designed
Yeah.
and implemented, ensuring that they empower us without diminishing our own agency.
So it's kind of a balancing act.
It is.
Embracing the potential of AI, but also preserving what makes us uniquely human.
Exactly. And, that brings us to maybe the most profound implication of all.
Okay.
How Project Astra could reshape our relationships with each other.
I'm intrigued. How so?
Well, think about the ways technology already connects us. Social media messaging apps, video calls. Now imagine Astra acting as a social facilitator,
Okay.
helping us connect with like-minded people, organize events, or even bridge cultural divides through real-time translation and understanding.
So instead of isolating us in these digital bubbles,
Right.
AI could actually help us foster more meaningful human connections.
That's the hope. Of course, there are potential downsides to consider as well.
Yeah.
We need to be very careful about privacy concerns, data security, and the potential for AI to be used in ways that exacerbate existing social inequalities.
It's a lot to consider.
It is.
Both the incredible possibilities
Mhm.
and the potential pitfalls.
It's like we're standing at a crossroads.
Yeah.
And Project Astra is offering a glimpse down one possible path into the future.
And it's a path that we're all shaping together, right?
You are. The
Mhm.
choices we make today as individuals, as companies, as a society
Yeah.
will determine what that future looks like.
Yeah.
Will it be a future where AI empowers us, connects us, and helps us solve humanity's biggest challenges? Or will it be a future where we cede too much control, become overly reliant on AI, and lose sight of our own values and agency?
Those are the questions we need to keep asking ourselves, not just about Project Astra, but about the broader direction of AI development.
I agree.
It's a conversation that requires nuanced, critical thinking and a commitment to building a future that benefits everyone.
I couldn't have said it better myself. This deep dive into Project Astra has been fascinating, thought-provoking, and honestly a little mind-blowing at times.
Yeah,
It's a good reminder that the future isn't something that just happens to us.
right.
It's something that we create collectively through our choices and our actions.
Well said. And on that note, we've reached the end of our deep dive into Project Astra.
It's been a pleasure.
Thanks for joining us as we explored this incredible technology and all the possibilities and challenges that come with it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
We hope you found it as thought-provoking as we did, and that you'll continue to explore these questions and contribute to shaping the future of AI.